It's going.
Oh, yeah, no, pretty good.
Thinking we should chuck a podcast. What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah, no, I can. Come round. Let's do a thing.
Hello, welcome back to What Do You Reckon?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten what episode this is. I think it's 5 maybe.
This will be 5.
All right. And to kick it off, yesterday, 25 years since the release of Happy Gilmore.
Just life-changing.
What a film. What a film.
Life-changing. I reckon, I'm going to say 80% of people that get into golf know probably because of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
It got me into golf.
And so many one-liners out of that film as well that just like enter everyday life.
Exactly.
You know, like anytime someone goes, oh, hey, can you grab me the thing? You could trouble me for a warm glass. Shut the hell up.
There's just everything. So I got so hyped yesterday when they I didn't realize it was coming up, the 25.
I don't think anybody did.
No. And but I think what kicked it off was seeing their Adam Sandler, and I know his name's Christopher Shooter McGavin.
Uh-huh.
He they did their videos on social media of just them like having a banter back and forth.
Oh, really?
And I was just like, this is great. Like,
oh, I'm gonna have to see that because I saw Adam Sandler doing the Happy Gilmore shot and absolutely crushed it. But yeah, I didn't see any of the Shooter stuff.
Shooter just did one. He's like, it's all about short game, and he's putting in his house into a cup. He's like, still got it, Shooter. It's so good. But yeah, like that combo. The thing about that movie is that I don't know who's my favorite character, if it's either Happy Gilmore or Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
I still love both of them just as much. Like, they both play the characters so well.
Yeah.
I think Shooter's honestly my favorite out of that movie.
Yeah, I think so. Like, he really nailed that character, hey. But then there's also, like, the friend of his, the heckler. Like, you will not make this putt, you jackass.
Shooter!
Yeah. I'll be at Red Lobster in case you change your mind. God bless.
It's just, so good. So, I actually made a shirt. I think it was it was like around the start of Take Us to Vegas, and it was Shooter McGavin. Oh. And it was like, if I'd been doing
guns.
that. Yeah, Rick ended up taking the shirt. It was such a great shirt. But, so that was the thing. And I thought an episode could be movies that have just never gotten old on us.
Yeah.
Just a quick one, just things that just never seem to die.
Yep. Well, I think like certainly in terms of stuff that defined me, and also movies that I can watch over and over and over and over again and never get sick of. First off the bat has to be Wayne's World.
I was about to say, you better be saying Wayne's World.
Yeah, has to be Wayne's World. Like that just, I don't know, like it just...
Well, I don't think people know it as much. You know it more than, like, you know it as much as me.
Yeah.
Out of all our friends, I try to have the Wayne's World conversation with people, but no one seems to get it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's like, that's something that just like encapsulated life for me so much, you know, like the sarcasm, like the horniness, the rock music, like, I don't know. It's just such a great film and like great comedy. And that was one that Mike Myers developed on Saturday Night Live as well with Dana Carvey, who plays Garth. And if like anyone with an appreciation for Wayne's World should go back and watch Mike Myers' Saturday Night Live skits. Yeah. He actually hosted a special, and I like still to this day, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, Wayne's World was just so cool. And like, you know, the cameo appearances of like Aerosmith and Alice Cooper and all people like that. It was just, and Chris Farley was in it as well, you know, like.
But that was never meant to be a thing, apparently. Like, because it had such a small budget, that first movie. Yeah. And then just like, I'm not even sure if this will even get released. And apparently it took a while to actually come out.
Yeah. So, again, like that Wayne Campbell and Wayne's World, it was developed on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. And Mike Myers did a podcast fairly recently. Maybe it was an interview. I can't remember, but he actually spoke about how Wayne's World started and got off the ground. And it was basically Lorne Michaels, who's the head guy at Saturday Night Live, basically eventually was like, all right, we'll do this for you and see how it goes type thing. But yeah, it's like Mike Myers is an interesting person on his own and tells quite a cool story about it. So it's worth checking out if anybody has an interest in him as a person, because he's done so many other cool films. Like, have you seen So I Married an Axe Murderer?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Like that's fucking hilarious as well. And like, sort of the white Eddie Murphy, like playing a bunch of characters within it. So if anybody doesn't know who we're talking about, but maybe you've seen Austin Powers, he plays Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, Fat Bastard.
Yeah.
Who else? I think there's a couple of other ones that he plays in that.
Coming off of that, where you remind me of Eddie Murphy, another movie that doesn't get old for me is Coming to America.
Oh, yes. Yes. And they're doing a follow-up that's out
So they're
soon.
actually doing it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's finished. I think it's coming out soon. And it's got Eddie Murphy and, what's his fame? Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm nervous about it because
sometimes when you leave them this long, it doesn't turn out that good.
Like the Dumb and Dumber sequel was not great.
No.
And it's like Happy Gilmore. Don't touch it. Don't do a sequel. It's perfect as it is. I can rewatch that movie. Yeah. Don't fuck with it. Like,
well, I don't reckon they will. You can't.
Yeah, I don't think Sandler would do that. But
The thing is, they should have done it back then.
Yeah.
I reckon that would have been cool.
Yeah, it could have worked out.
Like another tour. But it had to be like Wayne's World 1 and Wayne's World 2. Like Wayne's World 2 is still, to me, just as good.
Yeah.
But that was it.
There's been very few like franchises in movie history that have had sequels that have been as good as the original. And I think Wayne's World 2 stands up to Wayne's World, like it's the first one. And I had another example in my brain. Oh, Goon. Have you seen that?
Oh, the ice hockey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Goon 2 is fucking hilarious as well.
I haven't even seen Goon 2.
Yeah, so Goon had a really slow burn. Like it sort of went unnoticed and then kind of picked up this cult following.
Yeah.
And so then out of just this like crazy popularity that built up like years after the film came out, they decided to do a second one.
Right.
And I would argue it's just as good as the first.
Yeah.
Like they're hilarious films. But on that note, speaking of successful film franchises, other big one for me, as anybody who knows me would know, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a bunch of Star Wars tattoos and that's some of my fondest memories. Like, my uncle's showing me that when I was growing up and giving me the toys and all that sort of gear. And so like, I am a Star Wars geek, 100%. And also Lord of the Rings.
Right. See that with Lord of the Rings, there's two. There's I know it's two or all three of them. Have you seen the extended cuts?
Yes.
I haven't seen them yet. I think I need to book a weekend to be able to do it.
Yeah, they do like increase the running time of the film by quite a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like some of the best bits, honestly. Yeah. Like when you get those extended cuts, at least for me, like somebody who's quite a nerd and into it.
Yeah.
And those are things that like I will revisit those every year.
Yeah.
I've already rewatched every Star Wars film for the year, and some point in the next couple of months when I need some downtime, it'll be Lord of the Rings again.
Do you have a soft spot for Harry Potter films?
I like them.
Yeah.
Not as much as like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. It's not in the same vein for me, but I definitely appreciate those films.
Yeah, I've never been a huge Harry Potter fan. Like I liked them. Like they were interesting the way they were filmed, but I've never been in full hype.
I think it's like Harry Potter's an interesting phenomenon as well in that those characters grew up at the same time as us. And I don't know if that's ever happened in film history before where you've got like, a young kid and then by the time filming finishes for that franchise, they're an adult.
Well, I think that's why they just did it back to back straight away.
Yeah.
They knew that was happening because you've got a kid from starting at I think like 12 years old. Like this kid's going to grow up fast over the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Like we need to film this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so it's quite an interesting cultural phenomenon. Like, I think maybe people feel as though they actually know Daniel Radcliffe or Rupert Grint or all these characters because it's like they grew up with them.
Yeah.
Especially people that really escape into that world of Harry Potter.
Yeah, definitely.
The books and the films where it's like, oh, I know these people and their peers and colleagues, and we grew up together. So it's I don't think that's ever happened before in the history of the world.
One thing that surprised me, which I thought was quite good, is Cobra Kai.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, the Karate Kid, it's now, but the same two actors as like 25 years later or 30 years later, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yep. So what is it? Johnny and
Oh, I'm dying over
Daniel.
here.
Daniel Caruso.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That works. The way they film that is they've tried to make it so new, but still so 80s at the same time.
yeah, so I feel like what it's turned into now isn't what they set out to create initially.
No.
They realized somewhere along the way that cheesing it up
Yeah.
really worked for them. So it's like that's where you get that 80s vibe where it's still like the original Karate Kid and it's kind of got like that Point Break vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like some real cheese on it. And it just works, you
Yeah.
know? It's like, so people aren't taking it as like a serious drama or
No.
anything like that. It's like you take it at face value and it's just entertainment and it's really fun. But I am curious to know if like has it generated like an increase in like karate signups? Like are people getting
wonder
back
that.
into it?
I said that as soon as it finished. I'm just like, I think I want to do karate now. And then, because Tennille was a Karate Kid.
Oh really?
She was a black belt. But I think she said she did till about, I don't know, 12. I don't
Yeah.
know, very young. But
See, like in the BJJ world, it's just like karate's a sham. That's stupid. So you
no.
watch it and be like, nah.
no. But I think it's just cool. I think just the whole, if you compare them both, like whoever does BJJ is going to win to me.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, BJJ kind of has like real world application. Like
Exactly.
karate's a bit more flashy. Like
Yeah.
the karate that you get taught in those.
I think
kind
it's
of
because I
schools
like the
and stuff.
sounds that they make in karate.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like it really does. I would be open to learning other martial arts like Taekwondo and all that kind of gear.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to be able to do some cool spinny kicks
I think
and shit.
out of the names of every sport, like as fighting combat sports, karate sounds the coolest.
you reckon?
Yeah.
Because I remember as a kid, it'd be like in a full threat. It's just like, my brother knows karate. Like,
that's
it's just, you don't
sick.
want to mess with me.
I think-
It's
I think-
like, oh, damn. Like,
Yeah.
But these days, it'd just be like, that's cute, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. What, you want me to stand there while you perform these stunts on me?
I even remember there's a joke on American Dad, and it's like, I think the kid wants to learn karate. It was just like, ask his dad, do you know karate? He's just like, karate? Ha! The Dane Cook of martial arts?
So yeah, that's another throwback that it's I guess lived through the days.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool nostalgia stuff
Yeah.
happening, and Cobra Kai is an example of that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think back to that era, that 90s era that
Well, I mentioned Point Break before, and that's a timeless film for me.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Point Break, and we'll rewatch it like yearly.
yeah. See, I was going to go through I went through my DVDs the other day. I was going to chuck them all out. And then Ryan said, don't do it because one day there'll be an internet blackout. You'll be glad that you got it. Like, oh, they're going up in the roof at least.
Okay.
Crocodile Dundee. That's, I don't know.
I think I've only seen like one Crocodile Dundee film.
See, I remember seeing Crocodile Dundee when I was younger. But the LA one that came out later in life, that was the one I really liked. And that's what got me back into the first two more. So I didn't mind the old Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, Blues Brothers. Did you ever watch
No,
that?
I never got into Blues Brothers.
Oh man, Dan Aykroyd and the late Mr. Belushi. Amazing film. Like, I reckon Blues Brothers really ignited my passion for music.
Yeah.
Because like they're doing all these live performances, and there's these cool kind of rough dudes in Chicago that are just trying to raise money by doing a blues tour, and
Yeah.
I don't know, like is it Jim Belushi? Why am I blanking? He passed away quite early, like late 80s or early 90s or something like that. Hectic coke habit. He was a Saturday Night Live regular, incredibly funny, but he was also a punk rocker. Like he was right into the punk rock scene. Brought bands like Fear onto Saturday Night Live to do live performances and stuff. And so I don't know, there was like just some kind of element of that within Blues Brothers that like I was drawn to.
Yeah.
And so like honestly, I think that was a life-changing film for me.
Yeah.
And you watch it like you should check it out. It's a great movie. Like it's dated as hell now.
Yeah.
But it also broke the record for most cars trashed in a car chase scene, like in a movie, ever. And it's basically like, I think it's the Chicago police are, chasing him down. But in one scene, it's just like car after car after car is just getting crashed or flipped over or set on fire or like, it's just a great movie. It's completely ludicrous, but it's hilarious. There's like some awesome tunes in it.
Yeah.
So Blues Brothers is right up there for me.
See, Home Alone spoke to a lot of people, but I think I preferred Richie Rich more.
I can't even remember Richie Rich. I think I only watched it like once or twice.
Well, Richie Rich was never as big as Home Alone.
Yeah.
And
Home Alone's like a Christmas movie now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind Richie Rich. What else is there? We could have wrote a list. We never write lists for these things. They just come to us. I was into Mortal Kombat, that movie.
Never saw it, but there's a new one coming.
Yes, that's why I got. Well, that's what made me rewatch it the other day.
Oh, right.
Because I knew there was a new one coming. I was like, I'm going to watch the first one. And the graphics in the first Mortal Kombat was so bad.
Yeah.
Like done on paint. I don't know. But yeah. What else? Some belters from the early 2000s, 90s.
I mean, like the 90s was such a cool era in filmmaking because of how bad it was. When you think about films like a lot of the John Woo films like Broken Arrow and Face Off, they're really cool, but they're so fucking bad at the same time. And that's what I mean about like Point Break and Cobra Kai with like the cheesiness. It was just like the scripts were just so over the top and like, like, have you ever seen Face Off, the John Travolta and Nicolas Cage? It's just like the extra swagger that they've got that's just total garbage. Like, there's, I don't know, like the 90s action films and like True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
All that kind of era of filmmaking. Like, there's just so many cool movies out there, but it's like, I don't know, do people younger than us get it?
I don't know, because to me, the thing about the 90s filmmaking, to me, that's like when it was the first of what it is. Like movies that get made now, to me, are reflecting back on something.
Yeah.
From around that era.
Yeah. Well, certainly, I think a lot of filmmaking techniques, the development of CGI.
Yeah.
Like, because when you go from the 90s into the early 2000s, all of a sudden there was like huge influence on CGI. When you look at films from the early 2000s, everything is CGI and it's all fucking bad CGI. Like even your top films, it's trash.
Even if you watch Avatar now.
I
swear this was a lot better when
when it came out. So it's just like I feel like it overcorrected to do this whole CGI thing, and now it's like sort of coming back towards real filmmaking and taking elements of that. And I don't know. It's like it's so interesting, and like when you talk to people that really know about filmmaking, it can be so interesting. Yeah. But Chris from Evolution Screen Printing, that does a lot of work for Shred Life and was my boss a while ago. Like has a real passion for like filmmaking trivia. Like get him talking about Quentin Tarantino and he just knows so much stuff. Wow. It's like it's super interesting, like all these like little ins and outs, and the trivia that he knows about stuff is crazy.
Actually, were you ever big on gaming when you were in high school or primary school?
Like
PlayStation games?
I've never been a huge gamer. No, it's just sort of been like here and there.
Only because I'm just thinking about future things. We've never done a gaming episode.
Oh,
of early PlayStation era games.
Yeah.
Like I can't talk about games now. I've got nowhere to go from there. I was thinking if we're going to go movies back then, we should go to games back then. Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Well, like the most recent game that I purchased was the remake of Tony Hawk's 1 and 2.
Exactly.
So,
they're the only games I buy now, just remakes.
Yeah.
No, there's no new games. Okay, cool. Oh, well, just a few little movies from the times. I don't know if a few people will relate to them. I mean, the one movie that always will relate to me, and I've said it in other podcasts, is School of Rock. I don't know why. The only reason why is because that movie made me pick up a guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But even though I already loved Wayne's World,
Yeah.
For some reason, I never picked up a guitar then, but I still love the white Fender from that. But School of Rock is what made me actually pick up a guitar.
That's so weird because School of Rock just annoyed the shit out of me. I really didn't like it as a movie when I first saw it. I was like,
I'm trying to think what movie Jack Black was in before that. See, Jack Black, I don't love.
He kind of plays the same guy all the time.
That's why I don't think I mean, even though The Rock does the same thing as well.
So does Owen Wilson.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, McConaughey got better, but yeah. Like, you watch McConaughey's films now, he's actually like quite a versatile actor, but I think at the start they tried to just do him as the rom-com heartthrob type guy, so yeah.
Two other movies that quickly come to mind, Rush Hour I got into. I love Rush Hour.
I remember loving Rush Hour 2, and I tried to show Rani again recently, and I was like, this is not that funny.
Ah, damn it. See, mate,
but Jackie Chan's Rumble in the Bronx,
that was a good movie.
that was a cracker.
Yeah.
That's another one that probably doesn't stand up today because it would just be like clunky as fuck and so cheesy, but I'm going to rewatch that.
Yeah, same. Where was I heading to after that? Don't know. There's another one. It was Jackie Chan. Can't remember. There was this good movie. It was called Dragon, and that was the Bruce Lee story.
Yeah.
But
Enter
it
the
wasn't,
Dragon.
Yeah, it wasn't played by Bruce Lee. I used to enjoy watching that one.
Yeah, it was Brandon Lee, his son, that played him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind watching that again.
And Brandon Lee died during the filming of The Crow.
Yes.
He was shot.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was meant to be a prop gun, but it was a live round.
Yeah.
That was a conspiracy theory one that we missed in the
Damn
episode.
it.
Because I think there's like a whole theory that he was like intentionally murdered for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was your favourite action movie?
Favorite action?
Like action hero movie. Superhero movie.
Ooh.
Mine, I'll start.
I did love Batman Forever.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Val Kilmer as Batman. Yeah.
From when I was younger, was the first Power Rangers movie.
Oh, I never saw that.
That's good and sad. The thing is that everyone from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers era, the 90s, they still live off that.
Yeah.
Like if you go on their social medias and that, they're still like doing Comic Cons based off the Power Rangers back then.
Was that the one, like, I know that the red Power Ranger ended up snapping and, like, attempting to murder somebody or successfully murdering somebody?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Was he in that movie or was he the TV series?
It was a TV series.
Oh, okay. All right.
From what I remember.
Film trivia is fun.
Yes.
Maybe we should do a film trivia one next.
Yeah. What are action bangers? I didn't mind the movie Speed.
Speed. I actually never saw the original one. I saw Speed 2 at the cinemas first, which just created a lifelong crush on Sandra Bullock for me, honestly. I don't know about you. And then years later, I got to go back and see the original Speed, and great movies. Again, I think Speed 2 was a John Woo film, 90s.
I mean, like, there are things that when you're in a bus and you see it go over 60, you think,
oh my God.
don't go under 60.
Yeah.
The bus is going to blow.
Well, we got to stay in the speed.
Is there any other movies that make you think twice? Final Destination seems to be one for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially
Nobody
the
wants to
logs.
drive behind a logging truck anymore.
No.
Yeah. I remember seeing the original It.
Yeah.
And because he was always in drain pipes and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, so I was actually really scared.
I've actually said that at work a few times, like when I'm down a drain pipe, like, is there anything down there, like trying to get me to like look for something? I'm like, there's a red balloon.
You should actually just like take one down with you next time, just blow it up and start hanging it out. But yeah, like because of the original It, every time I took a shower, like I'd be in the corner, like I wouldn't look at the drain either, but I wouldn't go anywhere near it. I was just like, oh. I was quite young.
What else is there? I don't know. No.
Pulp Fiction's a cracker movie.
That is a good one. Pulp Fiction. Yeah. All right. It's probably people saying, whoever's listening, what's some movies?
Yeah, I actually would really like if people who listen to this then go recommend some like nostalgic films that were like sick back in the day or like change your life or just, you know, you really connect with as a person, because I'm always interested in that kind of thing. Unless they're horror films, because I don't really care for horror films as a genre.
Yeah, like Saw or... No, that's gory.
Yeah.
Scream was definitely something. Okay, this is one that was a time of its era. Is the Ring movie?
Yes, I remember that coming.
That
out.
used to kind of, when I was at home alone, I'd be like, TV, don't you dare turn on.
There was also I think it was Sarah Michelle Gellar was in it. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
I remember that being like a summer like blockbuster for horror, and it was like every teen had to watch that.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't really care about that genre at all. It just does nothing for me.
What's some belters that you've seen this year?
This year?
Or in the last year?
I actually like Ted 2 is on Netflix now, and I watched that last night. Nowhere near as funny as Ted 1. No, it's just, and that's the opposite of what you just asked me.
Yeah, that is.
But that was the first thing that sprung to mind. But honestly, not really. I haven't seen anything great this year. Have you?
No. I mean, it's because people can't film shit the way they want to at the moment. We watched Liam Neeson. No, I lie. What's it called? Honest Thief.
Yeah, right.
It's Liam Neeson's new movie. He's another actor that plays the same thing in every movie, but that's okay because I love Liam Neeson's character in every movie. So
actually, Edge of Tomorrow is out on Netflix now. That's the Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt film. And like that's one that I'm just into. I can rewatch that one and just love it.
Yeah.
In fact, when I go home, I might watch it.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's great.
All right.
But yeah, I would love to hear from people about this. If you care enough to message, recommend some films. And in the meantime, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Thanks for that, guys. We're going to wrap that up. It's just a quick one. I'm surprised we got 27 minutes out of this.
Yeah, we can fucking ramble.
Yeah, that's good.
Ramble. Also, I don't know when the next one's coming out because I think I'm going to Tasmania on my next days off.
You're going to have a great story to tell when you get back.
Yeah. Actually, maybe we could even do one, distance one while I'm there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll try it. Yeah, we'll see if we can figure out technology. Let's try that. All right.
Sick. All right. Have a good one, guys, and we'll chat to you on the next one.
Thanks, legends.